Monica Jackson, a retired Navy SEAL lieutenant commander, never imagined that a simple traffic stop would spiral into a battle for justice. After dedicating 2 decades to military service, she had confronted some of the world's most perilous situations. Yet, nothing could have prepared her for the corruption she was about to uncover within her own country's justice system. It all unfolded on a quiet evening. Monica had pulled into a gas station, checking directions on her phone, when Officer Simmons, a veteran cop with a history of excessive force complaints, noticed her. To him, she looked suspicious. His flashlight cut through the darkness, illuminating Monica's face as he approached, exuding authority. "Step out of the vehicle," he barked, already assuming she would resist. "Is there a problem, officer?" Monica asked, her voice calm yet firm. "Don't question me."
"Out. Now."
Monica, well-versed in de-escalation tactics, knew that arguing wouldn't help. She complied, handing over her license and registration. But Simmons wasn't looking for cooperation. He wanted submission. The moment she hesitated to answer his barrage of questions, he slammed her against the patrol car. "You're resisting arrest," he accused, his voice laced with hostility. "You're assaulting an officer," he sneered. By the time Monica was booked, Simmons had fabricated a report claiming she had reached for his weapon. It was his word against hers. And history showed that, in cases like these, the officer almost always won. But Simmons had made a grave mistake. The trial moved swiftly. Inside the grand courthouse, Monica sat at the defense table, hands folded, dark eyes never leaving Simmons. Despite her composed exterior, she understood. This wasn't just about her freedom. This was a fight against a system that shielded officers like Simmons at all costs. Brimming with confidence, Simmons took the stand first. "She was aggressive," he insisted. "When I attempted to de-escalate, she reached for my weapon." A ripple of murmurs spread through the courtroom. Monica's young attorney, Benjamin Carter, leaned in and whispered anxiously, "We need more. His word against yours won't be enough." Monica gave a knowing smile. "Patience, Ben. The truth has its own timing." When it was her turn to testify, she stood with the same unwavering poise that had carried her through countless missions. "I was checking directions on my phone when Officer Simmons approached," she began. "He didn't ask for identification, he demanded it. And when I questioned why, he escalated immediately." The prosecutor pounced. "So, you admit to questioning his authority?" Monica met his gaze, unshaken. "I questioned his motives. There's a difference, one that strikes at the very heart of this case." Then came the bombshell. Benjamin played a bystander's phone footage. The video captured Simmons shouting, "Women like you need to learn how to listen." The courtroom atmosphere shifted. Gasps, whispers, shock. The judge called for order. The prosecution's case crumbled. During a recess, Benjamin rushed over, gripping a folder. "We got it," he said. Simmons' personnel file. Multiple excessive force complaints, targeting minorities, especially women. "They tried to bury it, but we found it." Monica exhaled deeply. "This was never just about me, Ben. It's about everyone who never got the chance to fight back. Now we make sure they do." Back in court, Benjamin presented the evidence. The once confident Simmons crumbled. In the gallery, his fellow officers shifted uncomfortably, their support fading. Then came the final blow. Monica stood. "I am Lieutenant Commander Monica Jackson, retired Navy SEAL." A stunned silence. The jury leaned in. Suddenly, they saw her in a different light. "For 20 years, I defended this country's ideals of justice and equality," Monica declared. "I have faced enemies abroad, navigated hostile territories, and led teams through the most extreme conditions imaginable. But I never thought I'd have to face such blatant abuse of power at home, on the very streets I swore to protect." Simmons turned pale. The jury deliberated for less than an hour.
"Not guilty."
But Monica's victory was bigger than just her acquittal. The jury recommended a full investigation into Simmons' conduct and his department's practices. Visibly disturbed, the judge ordered an immediate review of his past cases. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed Monica. She stood tall, her military bearing unshaken. "This isn't about revenge," she told them. It's about reform. We entrust law enforcement with power, but with power must come accountability. Today, we took a step in the right direction. Her story spread like wildfire. Police departments began reviewing training protocols. Internal investigations were launched. Simmons was dismissed and later faced criminal charges. But Monica's true victory? The conversations sparked by her case. She began speaking at police academies, advocating for ethical policing and unbiased enforcement. Her unique perspective, as both a veteran and a victim of police misconduct, gave weight to her words. Months later, Monica stood on the courthouse steps, watching the sunset. Her phone buzzed. Another precinct wanted her to speak on reform. She smiled. Her battle had become a catalyst for change. Her Navy SEAL training had prepared her for combat, but her moral compass had led her to this victory. Because sometimes the toughest fights aren't won with physical strength, but with an unwavering commitment to truth and justice. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to IOP Stories. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers together and keep sharing stories that inspire change and celebrate resilience. Thank you for watching. See you in the next chapter of empowerment.